So copy-fail is the most recent vulnerability affecting Linux systems. Let's talk about it. Let's understand what copy-fail is. Let's understand how you can check if you are safe or not, and also the timeline of the events and the discoveries. So copy-fail is the popular name for the CVE-2026-31431. It was discovered by Shintcode, and the first public mention of it is this tweet by Brian Peck, that is the CEO of theory.io. It has already been properly registered as the CVE in the CVE system. It's a high severity vulnerability, having a 7.8 score, but only has a 0.01 probability of exploitation because patches were already released. You just need to make sure you are running the proper releases, okay? So this was published on March 23 by Brian Peck, and this is basically this Python script here that is the exploit. If you encrypt this with SHA-256, this is what you get, so you can verify that this is exactly the breadcrumbs that Brian left there for us to prove that he was the one that found it and was designing basically the exploit, the proof of concept for the exploit. So what happened? What is the exploit itself? Anyone that runs this script here can basically fool your Linux system that it is a root user, so a privileged access user. Any local user, any simple user in a Linux machine or Linux server can trick the system into thinking they are root. So it's a privileged access escalation. A normal user can fool the system that they are a root user, and they can then make a lot of things that a normal user wouldn't be able to. They can mess with system files, they can read encrypted files like passwords and other stuff. So yeah, that's a high severity stuff. For domestic users like myself, for example, I run Linux, it's not as big of a deal unless I have someone that already invaded my machine. Okay, so I am the only user of my machine. I am the root user anyway. But of course, if an attacker can get access to my machine, a remote access to my machine, they could basically trick it to get privilege escalation and now start acting as root user. They can't with my machine because it's already patched, but in theory, if it wasn't, they could. Okay, so basically that's the exploit. That's the danger of that. It's far worse for servers or for devices that have more than one user, and you have users that you don't want to be messing with your file systems or reading your passwords. So this is where the urgency for a patch lies. Okay. If you want to have full access to what copy-fail is, what the proof of concept of this exploit is, what the vulnerability means, and how it works, you can read the report at xint.io. There is a recent blog post there, posted on April 29, yesterday. So yeah, go ahead and take a look for yourself. The good news is that it, as I said, has already been patched. So Brian posted on March 23, and there was already a work being done from March 26, and the patch committed at March 31. Okay, it was already mirrored in the Linux Kernel repository on GitHub by Torvalds, and here you can see what happened. Basically, they just reverted something that was implemented in 2017. The patch is just code deletion. Basically, they just deleted the code from this upgrade from 2017. Okay, that opened the bug. So yeah, that's a good thing, right? For example, in my case, we can see that Arch Linux kernel release is already on 7.0.2, which is a safe release, and in my machine, I can just check that, and you can do the same by uname dash r, and you can check your kernel version. Mine is 6.19.13, and anything that is above 6.19.12 should be safe, at least for Arch. I believe Ubuntu has something similar, but you need to check on your distro what's the newest release, if it has the patch or not, and make sure to benchmark that with the kernel version you are running yourself. So if you are running an old version of the kernel, you should upgrade your system ASAP. Okay, that's it. Mostly, I just want to make like to document these findings and talk about it a bit. If you want to see more content similar to this one, you can subscribe to thecoding.substack.com. It's my free subscription Substack publication. You can also follow me on X at vinibarbosabr, where I also post these things. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you have already patched or not. And if you haven't patched, don't say in the comments. See ya.